So now we're going to show how we prepare the bed to plant in. So ideally this cover crop would be in the milk stage, but I have a lot of plants that I need to plant, and I'm going to cut the plants and aerate them with the broad fork, the roots, and then that will be preparing the bed more or less to plant right into the stubble of that. So a couple ways I'm going to just show how we cut the cover crop. This is a sickle, and so by hand you could use a machete, you can use a weed whacker, you can use clippers, but basically just cutting the cover crop down to the stubble, and I leave the chaff right down on top to act as a mulch. And the more random it is, the better. The more surface area is covered up the ground. So this is the sickle, and then the scythe. This is a brush scythe. It's a smaller blade than the grass scythe, but I find it works really well in a small area like this. So I'll just keep the plants right onto the bed like that, so that there's already the mulch down on top. And then with the broad fork, I do 2 passes. So the first pass, I'll go straight with the bed. So the broad fork is in line with the width of the bed. Really just bringing up the roots and bringing air down into the root space, so that the roots are getting aerated and basically dying, which is making it a little bit easier to plant into, and then the plants that we plant have a better start. So that's one pass, and then I'll come back at an angle. You see it? And that breaks up the soil into a little bit easier way of working with.
And how long do you have to let that sit before you plant your seeds, so that the ride doesn't interfere with the growth of the new plants?
Well, this is for planting transplants into. If you're planting seeds, it's a little rougher to plant seeds into this, but again,
so you recommend transplants rather
into
than
this.
seeds.
If you want to seed into this, you'd pull these up, knock off the soil, make a furrow, and seed into. But that takes a little more work. So this is good for transplants. This is also what we'll do in a few weeks with the tomato transplants. And so we'll transplant greens into this.
Great. Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome, Ellen.